I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of people like to stick with one girl and say like that's the world. I really feel like men should like
mingle.
Go through mingle and go through their options.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I see some girls as they're processed food. And some girls are like home cooked food.
Yo,
yes.
When if you hungry and you eat like a fucking Pop-Tart, you're gonna be hungry an hour later.
Yeah.
Right.
If you hungry and you eat some rice and beans and chicken,
you're gonna be good.
You're gonna be good for a longer time. Mm-hmm. And that's the analogy of a girl being satiating. A girl you're growing with and learning things from her, and she's fulfilling. She brings substance to the relationship. So it's yes. What up, y'all? It's your boy SJ Sean Johnson. I got here Head Steph. We got Sade Renee. You're back tuned into the IC Inspiration Chemistry. Holla at us. You already know how it is. How's everybody doing today?
Oh man, I'm doing good, man. It's a little hot, man.
Yeah, pretty good, but it's a little muggy.
Humidity is killing me.
Yeah, that New York summer gets sticky.
Yeah, man. So, what happened this week, Sade?
So, I know Gino's a gamer,
yes,
and you know the rest of us grew up playing games. We may not be into it as much as you are, but I came across something really interesting.
Okay,
the best-selling game systems, the $100 Million Club. So, according to Zuby Tech on Twitter, and I confirmed it with my own research, but these are the 7 highest, most game systems sold. So we have number 1 with PlayStation 2 and 159 mil. Number 2 is Nintendo DS with 154 mil. Game Boy with 118.69. PlayStation 4 at number 4 with 117.2 million. Number 5 is Nintendo Switch, 107 with 107.65 mil. PlayStation, the original, at number 6 with 102.49 mil. And the Wii is number 7.
What?
At 101.63 mil.
Came out?
Yeah.
Nah, the fucking
for the phone, right?
Phone shit.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucker.
Couple of technical difficulties. But
one of those days.
What did you say number 1 was?
Number 1's PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah. Those were good days.
PlayStation 2 and the original is number 6. And number 4 is on is PlayStation 4.
Okay.
I think there was a lot of.
Wait, you said this number what?
PlayStation 4 is number 4.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot, like I think PlayStation is like one of those
those
games, you know.
I as a previous console player, I used to join in the console wars. I was Team Xbox for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
I was always Team PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just I feel like the PlayStation players is a little too arrogant. So I'm just used to going for the underdog. And I'm not gonna lie, when the first Xbox came out and they had Halo and Fable and all the dope ass games that I grew up playing, like I was just like, nah, this is better.
Yeah, that's like, so there's actually like 24 popular gaming systems, and the first generation of games actually came out in 1970s, and it was Magnavox, Odyssey. I don't know some of these.
Yeah, I know.
Odyssey 2, Atari Home, Pong, and Coleco Telstar series, and the Color TV game series.
Coleco?
Coleco, yeah.
ColecoVision.
See, I didn't know.
ColecoVision was crazy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then these games, a lot of these games couldn't display more than 2 colors.
Yeah.
And it was just hardwired to the console. When I looked into this, I was like, this is pretty cool. Like the evolution of it. The second generation games, they started coming out with more accessories and more cartridges, and also altered.
I'm sorry, y'all. We live in New York, so that shit happens.
Trouble in the city all the time.
Trouble in the city all the time.
Like getting it live out here. Time out.
That shit get crazy. But yo, why do y'all think PS2 out of all gaming systems sold the most? Like, what is that?
We gotta understand the whole gaming industry, like mainly Japan has that shit in a chokehold.
Yeah, so, Japan's who created the Color TV game series. Sony. They took it over.
Nintendo. Japan is the home of video games.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm saying out of PS5, how you see all the memes for PS5.
Well, Xbox is beating PS5 right now.
Well, PS5 it was hard to get.
She just said PS2.
Yeah, the PS2
is the most like. What is it about that time?
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. So like, being that, what you gotta understand is that when the gaming consoles come out, the gaming consoles. They create the gaming console that has the hardware that's able to, that gives the developer of the game the power, the tools to what they can do.
The best experience playing the game.
So basically what happens is that in Japan, they have like, Japan culture is different. Like the Japanese would rather work with Japanese. So in the end of the day, like Microsoft being an American company, it's like they kind of had the odds against them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and one thing is like if you think trying to be like a new artist as a rapper or R&B singer, whatever is hard, making a new console that have people willing to spend, like you gotta think, like you're not gonna want to risk $10 or $15 on some random kid's album. Now $500 on a system that you never heard of is kind of like I don't know, bro. Like you know what I mean? So like It's Microsoft came out. They're the they have the reputation of the computer nerds. So from a gamer aspect, it's just like, what are y'all doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Halo was a very I watched the Xbox documentary, and it just really gives a lot of insight into like how Microsoft came out with Xbox and how they like really fought through the trenches to get their name solidified in the gaming realm. Which was hard because like when they first were like showcasing their system, it failed. It didn't show it wouldn't work. So they had a lot of turns and shit going through, coming out. But PlayStation was there before Xbox. They had PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. So if you're driving Tesla and it's like the first electric car and everything's going good, and then Tesla comes out with a new model, it's like, oh, this shit looks even better. And then somebody else is like, and Honda's like, hey, we making electric cars now, and it's on par with Tesla. You know, like, Honda, you known for this other shit. Nah, we're gonna stick with Tesla. You know what I mean?
Wait, so you're saying that by the time PlayStation was on part 2,
they already had a name.
They build enough buzz up to where they smashed it.
They smashed it
because the original PlayStation was like
the jump. Yeah, the jump from Nintendo and Sega,
right,
and Sega Saturn to PlayStation
blew that shit out the water.
Was ridiculous.
It was
like the graphics. Today we'll look at it like, what the fuck is that? But at that time, the graphics compared to what everybody else was putting out was like.
The Nintendo and the Sega. Yeah, I mean, that's what mostly everybody had. So when you got PlayStation and you played Resident Evil, it scared the shit out of me the first time I fucking played PlayStation.
I'm not a big gamer now, but the last gaming console I had was PlayStation 2, right?
Yeah.
And I remember at the time, the games that was leading up like Vice City. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's when Grand Theft Auto first got popular. That's when it's like they had this run.
Yeah, they had games.
They had all the games. Yeah.
They had all the connections.
I remember
and all the
Spyro.
developers making their stuff for them. So they were running shit. But here's what happened though. After Xbox came out with their first one, Halo was the main thing that attracted people to like actually take the risk with them, and that shit blew shit out the water. It didn't beat PlayStation 2 because Xbox came out when PlayStation 2 came out.
Yeah.
But then Xbox 360 came out and it destroyed.
That's when it changed.
Xbox 360 took over. Like Xbox has the power, the technology, and all they built up the connections, but they fucked up with Xbox One. And this is gonna be confusing because I know y'all not gamers. The first Xbox is called Xbox.
Yeah.
The second Xbox is called Xbox 360. The third Xbox is called Xbox One.
Yes.
Which is like...
I know that. But like, you get what I'm saying? I'm not I understand that when it comes to games. What I don't understand though is why not, why didn't PlayStation have the momentum by the time they got to 5 to sell more than PS2?
So the thing is, they weren't like, so when I say 360 won that generation, they didn't blow them out the water. It wasn't like, oh, PlayStation is about to fail. They were neck and neck, but Xbox came out on top in that generation. The reason why is because you got to think of it as the difference between gaming and like whether you're going to decide to go with a Benz or a BMW is different. You as a car, like say if you're a car aficionado or whatever, you love cars, you're not going to buy, you're going to choose one and you're going to stick with that. But if you're a gamer and Xbox has this one game that I really want to play, but PlayStation has this one game that I really want to play, I'm getting both.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get both.
Oh, you're saying that by the time Xbox came out, it split the people.
It split the people. So there's like a large sum of people that just stayed on one side, and then there's the other people that have both. I was always one that I had to have both.
My son has both.
Yeah.
I got Xbox. I got the Xbox now, the PlayStation 5, and I got PC.
What was your first gaming system?
ColecoVision. Then TurboGrafx 16.
You had that shit?
Bro, I got uncles. I come from a long line of nerds, bro.
That shit is.
Yeah, my nigga. I was in the crib with Donkey Kong. Just,
my nigga, the first game I had was Sega Genesis.
Oh, nah. That was dope, though.
We had a Nintendo. Mine was Nintendo. Yeah. When we had the game with the orange guns where you used to shoot the ducks. Duck hunting.
Yeah, that shit was fun.
Yeah, that was... We were game. My dad was a gamer. Like he was an OD Madden head. Yeah. So any game system that came out, and we had like that big 52-inch. That's why I wear fucking glasses. Playing fucking video games all day.
See, I don't know where I would land if I was a gamer today.
You would be on Microsoft. No, you would be PC. Just by knowing you'd be PC.
Because I used to play shit like Tomb Raider. And like I used to like hard ass games like Final Fantasy. So
if you like difficult, you like Final Fantasy? That's my
Final Fantasy's lit.
Shit that just be like, yo, I'll be on Tomb Raider for like one level for like a month. You gotta jump up and kick a lamp.
My nigga, it was so bad with me, bro. When I was a kid, I like before I could read, I was playing video games, and like I would get stuck at parts where you had to read to know what to do. Bro, I'm like, Mom, can you come read this for me? Can you read this for me? And I was just like, I need you to read it now. I'm gonna die. Like it'd be wilding, bro. Like I was like, I grew up with video games, and this is the one thing that's very interesting about video games today. We're at a very special time in games where games used to be for kids, and then it was like for the weirdos.
A part of what I was reading is like 80% of there's 80% of gamers are Gen Z and millennials. Yep. Because it's like a focal point in our childhood. We grew up playing these games. Like you said, you couldn't even read and you were playing games. Exactly. Like that is a very big staple. So we're like almost like the first generation of like grown up adults, grown up kids where we're like, I can sit down and I can play Madden with my son. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? My kids can teach me how to play Fortnite. Like where that generation, gaming was like a part of who we was. Mm-hmm. Like that was a part of like the why the game system did so well. It was saying like Gen Z, there's a nostalgic feeling behind a lot of these game systems. Yeah. So like we did really well just because it was innovative. It was different. Yeah. It was like one of those first games that was like almost interactive where you can put yourself in the game and create the characters.
Extremely immersive.
Right. But it still sucked. Like, you get what I'm saying? So people still bought it. But after a while, like people kind of got over it and went back to buying all the other things. Like I remember my Game Boy. Yeah. Like Game Boy, that was like one of the first like handhelds. One of the first. It wasn't the first.
Yeah, one of the first. Yeah.
One of the first like real like playing Pokemon on that shit.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
They had all the different colors. Pokemon, the Game Boy Pocket. Like so that's why like it's literally like a generational thing. Like 80% of the people who still game today, even though gaming's like increased and now you can monetize.
Yeah, so that's the thing about gaming also. The way I think the industry is extremely smart is that it grew up with like, you ever see like like what's a movie that you loved as a kid?
Back to the Future.
Okay, now let's say something more childish. I'm talking
Ninja Turtles.
Have you ever tried to go back and watch Ninja Turtles?
It's stupid as hell.
That's the thing. So
even the Mario Brothers movies is fucking retarded.
It didn't age well.
No.
But games, the thing they're doing with it is that technology has advanced. They're no longer childish anymore. There are kid games.
They're more mature
and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't make kids. They don't make games. Like majority of games are not made for children.
Have you ever played Roblox?
Nah.
That shit is fucking cool as fuck.
I seen it, but I don't I don't know.
My daughter, she's obsessed with it.
Yeah,
Can I get Robux, please?
Yo, I'm telling you, all my boys' kids love that.
This little girl's building and fucking Roblox. I'm like, can I play with you? Like,
yeah, I'm telling you,
I just watch her play because it's just like it's really crazy. And then they have like Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft is fucking cool.
And that shit makes so much money.
The Enderman.
Oh my god!
What? How do you not fuck with Minecraft? Like you can. Listen,
I hear
that. I'm not a gamer anymore. Like once my kids got into it, I was like, all right, hang up your fucking shoes. Like, get what I'm saying? Like, I just like, all right, this is not for me. I can't sit here and play this shit with y'all all day. And they will make you play with them all day. But it's just like you said, the games, they kind of matured with and then because of that nostalgic feeling, we can still sit down and play them.
Yeah. And then there's another thing that, like, first off, let's acknowledge the fact that the gaming industry now is the most lucrative entertainment business there is at like a whopping $1.75 billion. So that being said, there's something special about gaming for the simple fact that, like, think about it. If you played football as a kid and you're in your 30s, you can't really, like, you know, you could go out and play, but it's like
you can relive it through Madden.
You can't, not even just that. You can be competitive in any game. Like, there's so many competitive games now, and you can have the potential to make money. So it's just like a lot. What I noticed me getting older is like there's so much things that I'm like, damn, I can't do anymore. Or like, damn, I wish I could be on a football team. Or damn, I wish I was in. You know what I mean? Like, there's no more things like that for older people. It's more really focused on younger people. And video games is kind of a realm where you could like. You can still be the best. You can
create an avatar and that same competitive nature you can channel into gaming. Yeah. I know a lot of adult gamers.
Yeah, a lot. Listen, there's a lot of us.
Some of them are making money off of it. Like the Twitch streaming.
Yeah, Twitch streaming. You got
there's SS Sniper Wolf with she has a whole big old YouTube channel.
Fine, now Shuddy out here knowing some things.
I stay in the loop. I feel like it's also like with that generational thing. It's a good way to connect with me and my kids. We bond because we can share this love for like playing games and creating avatars and like just like you said, needing help with certain things or even just like what game is that? Put me on, and it's just like it kind of just helps you connect within like you can connect with people younger than you, and I know like you do just younger than you. I'm saying like everywhere internationally. I know like with you and your gaming, I'm pretty sure you talk to people all over the world. Yeah, so I think it's like really cool.
Like me, I have a group of friends that I grew up with. There's like 5 or 6 of us. So I keep whatever, but we moved away from each other. Like one of them lives in Massachusetts, another lives in Boston, another in Texas, the other one just be moving around. And then I was in the military, and all my military buddies is just like all over the fucking world. So it's just like that's one place where we could like, hey man, link up 6 o'clock. I'm gonna be on. And it's like even though my closest friends we haven't like sat down and had dinner with each other or like catched a movie or anything in years.
Right.
Doesn't feel like it's been that long because I talk to them like every other day.
I think I like that it's popularized because I think of like the introverted people who don't really know how to go out into the world and make friends, kind of really don't want to. They can make friends who are connected to the same thing they're connected to.
Yeah, and that's big.
And, you know, like they can form a community in the comfort of their own homes. And I've seen like memes, I thought they were funny, but like it's like guys who played games together for so long and never knew each other. And then they meet up and they end up being like best friends. I think that's adorable.
I'm actually trying to get over that because like that's one thing that like as a gamer, I never crossed that. That is something about like for me when I'm gaming, it's like, and I got all my boys in the chat, it's almost like in my head, like they're in my living room with me. Mm-hmm. And then like having like some random person that I don't know, I still get that like it's a little awkward. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't get to be my full self. Okay. So now that I'm streaming and, you know, Head Steph, you know what I mean? Like me on YouTube, follow, channel, all that stuff, like, subscribe, good looks. But knowing that I'm doing the streaming and then I'm trying to have this whole gaming channel and I'm reaching out, I'm starting to open up to it. And I see there's a lot of cool people out there, man. Like there's a lot of cool people. There's a lot of weird motherfuckers.
I would say you never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But so far I've been lucky. Like it's like doing a channel and now that I'm doing live streams, I for one, like, so don't get me wrong. Like, I play video games and I grew up on it. I'm a huge gamer, but I never understood the Twitch the love for Twitch and watching somebody else play video games. That never was a thing for me. So I
think
never
that's a thing from like the last couple of generations because they watch people play with dolls. Yeah. They watch people unwrap toys. It gets weird. Yeah. Like it's like why are you watching someone play with dolls when you can go play with your own?
Yeah, I never understood
that shit is
it.
Weird.
I never understood it. So when I was doing music, I always thought about streaming, but I was just like, ain't nobody gonna want to watch me play. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm seeing it, and it's just like it clicked for me. Mm-hmm. So like I've been streaming lately. You know, my numbers are slowly going up, and like recently just started getting like in the 50s and the 60s while I'm streaming, which is like huge to me because it's like I usually have like one to five people in there. Having 60 people watch me, and it's like we're talking. Like I was playing a game. Like was it yesterday? Yesterday or the day before yesterday? We was streaming, and it was like he's talking about the new Kendrick album and. Well, the state of hip hop, and then like it's just like conversation go anywhere. It was like, yo, there's some dope ass people out there. And we just like it's really good convo.
Vibing. So
it was like, yo, like, and then you got the music going. It's just so much. It's just like having your little hub of your own world, and like I don't know, it's something about it that's special, man.
It definitely is. It definitely is. So we actually got our first question.
Ooh.
You know, I offer. Just insight, advice. I don't really like saying advice, but it's more of just like insight. And we had a person who watches us.
Okay.
He subscribed and he sent me a letter. And so he has a question. And it is, you know, generally sent to me, but of course, you guys give any input. So his question is...
What's his name?
His name is Jarrod Good, and he's from he's from Atlanta. He actually said he's a friend of yours.
Yeah, my man, Goody Good. So what up, baby?
He said he's been tuning in. He really likes it.
Really good dude. Really.
He said we have
dude.
Great energy, and he actually has a question. He wants our input on.
Okay.
So he says that he's single, a single Pisces. He lives in Atlanta, ladies.
He's a good dude too, and he got the military benefits. Y'all better stop playing with that, man.
So he says, being that I'm 32, I date women from the ages of 22 to 47. A couple of times, the women who are younger than me seem to scare me because they move too fast for my liking. The women in my age range are still finding themselves and want to put him on the shelf while they figure themselves out. And then he says the older women don't want children. So I guess he wants a family. And that's important for him. And he says he understands that maybe I'm the problem and I would like to fix it. So based on what I've told you, what would you guys suggest that I do to better my odds in this love games? He said, dope podcast. I hope you guys succeed in everything I do. From ATL.
Much love to my man.
Yeah,
Good,
thanks
bro.
for tuning in, man.
Really fuck with you,
yeah,
bro.
Thanks,
that dude is a good dude. I'm not gonna lie, bro. He was in my unit. Straight edge dude. He's mad chill, very humble. You know what I mean? And he's about his business. I believe he had his own podcast. He does a lot of shit too with it. He has managing artists. He's like on his shit, like a good entrepreneur. Like he's moving. He's always doing some work. So I appreciate him reaching out.
So, listening to this, I kind of got that maybe the pace to the relationship as well as the context may be an issue. Because it seems like he doesn't want a traditional relationship in the sense of just checking off boxes. He's not dating just to check off boxes and get married in 6 months to a year. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, what I kind of would suggest is find, kind of like build your own world, find what your passions and hobbies are, and find someone who's in alignment with that. You get what I'm saying? And let the context be based on, hobbies that you guys enjoy together and creating some, I think it's like being transparent. And letting, kind of like letting somebody know, like, I do want in the future this to happen. However, it's like, I'm not trying to move. I want something deep. I think he's looking for something has a foundation. Okay. And they kind of grow together. So it's like pace. he wants a good pace. He doesn't want to speed it up, and he eventually wants a family.
Yeah,
so
which we should.
I think,
I just I don't know. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I agree with everything you just said. If you're looking for that, I don't know. I agree with you. Dating young girls, I'm not gonna lie. I tried it for a little bit when I was single, and I've experienced exactly what he experienced. Maybe a little wild. I'm not gonna lie. Now, it's just a little too much.
Okay.
And then I know exactly what you're talking about, girl in the age range. Like, yo, like that shit is tough, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's some. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like a lot of women these days is like not ready to settle down when they like even in their 30s. They just like there's something else I want to do. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Who knows? But whatever.
What do you think?
I think
it's
sorry.
No. Finish what you were saying.
Oh no, but I was saying like I think honestly the best thing you could do, bro, is like. What I found to be like started working for me, but like before I got into my relationship is I stopped going to the club. I don't know if you do. I'm not gonna assume that you do go to the club, but I stopped going looking for girls in the club. I started just politicking with girls that just like were doing the things that I was doing. So really much to tap in on what what Sade was saying is like if I was at the gym or whatever, and I would try to talk to a girl there. It's hard. It's harder because it's just like such an awkward environment. It's not what we're used to. Or I don't know if you are, but. Whatever, yeah. I just go in different places, changing up my routine, like actually trying to do more things that I have interest in, and then meet somebody there because you have more potential to find somebody that's like-minded.
Well, I think when you have like the context, I didn't realize this, but each relationship you build has a context. So it's like if you meet somebody at the club, the context is we're clubbing and we're probably going home and gonna fuck. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of it.
And that's what
you get what I'm saying? Right. So I think it's more of like building a context where there's growth.
Yeah.
So even if a girl's finding herself and you're pacing yourself, it's just about getting to know each other and seeing how we can grow together and meeting up at our particular common interest or hobbies, like having multiple things to go, talk about so that we're feeding each other rather than like seeing it as running towards the finish line, seeing it as a marathon. You get what I'm saying? Like it's about like taking your time and getting to know somebody. And it's kind of like, filtering the process. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that, I think that also too, when you kind of like are sure in who you are, it's like, you go do what you do in the places that you like to do it and maybe step outside your comfort zone and go into some places that maybe you have been interested in and you can learn from somebody else and you don't know what kind of connections you'll make.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it's absolutely
Wait, so he's saying that the young girls move too fast and the old girls move too slow?
Not the old girls, his age range.
The girls his age, they're looking for themselves. They're not interested in having a serious relationship. And the older women, they don't want no family. So they'll fuck with him. They'll probably go on dates with him. But it's just like, that's as far as it goes. Like,
but what does he want?
That's where it begins.
Yeah, it might be up to like what do you want at the, like he said he wanted a family.
I mean, if
he doesn't really say what he wants. I'm just going based off of like,
but if he's saying
what he's saying he having a family eventually, or having children eventually is important. Yeah. So that kind of hints, we're not trying to assume, but it's like, it sounds like eventually he would like children and a family with this young woman. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? He's not dating just to like check off boxes. He wants to he wants a deeper relationship.
One thing that's interesting is like I hear a lot of guys will be with the girls for like 6 years or something, and then the girl will get mad like, oh, it's been 6 years, we should be getting married, or we should be, you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like,
I say that's checking off boxes.
I feel like with the relationship, I know it's an intimate relationship between a male and a female, but if me and my boy are making music, and we don't get on, I'm not gonna be like, yo, Gino, I'm not making music with you because we not on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, why is it a conditional relationship? If this doesn't happen, then I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Just
I
for
don't
that.
think they ever really fuck with you if that's conditional.
That's
you get what I'm
true.
saying? They're just trying to check off boxes.
Just to bring that interjection of that happening, there has to be a distraction, I feel.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Let you finish.
Okay.
There has to be like some sort of distraction. Like if you're with a girl and she knows at the end of that 6 years, she turned into a better person, and she was just like, she got new crib, new job, she's just soaring and excelling. She's gonna feel like she didn't waste her time with you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So like it's like that. It's like what Sade was saying about like context.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like
with you.
it's like
That's a
you
good way
need
to look at it.
you need like some sort of distraction to where it's not too fast for me or it's not too slow for me. I like this.
So
You know?
so with that being said, I agree wholeheartedly with what you said, but me, I'm not gonna lie, my what worked for me is I was dating multiple women at the same time. I'm not gonna sit here and say, like, I'm not saying you're an item and like you're exclusive, but like I was courting, multiple women. Like I was
creating options for yourself.
not even just that, the on some like, a little bit on a surface level, yeah, it's cool to have options. But on a deeper level, what it did for me is like, I just was like watching what I did. Like each one, I liked something about them, but it wasn't like, it's not enough. If I feel like I need to go talk to this one and still dealing with you, like, then it's not enough. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you can get caught up in just loving to have options, but by having options, what you end up doing is not overly worried
Engaged.
about one.
Right.
And just, you're seeing what's out there for you. You're not going to be all up on them. So they be like, I'll get back. They're not going to be all up on you because you got shit to do. And then maybe you find who you're looking for. Because what happened with me is I dated multiple girls at the time. We'd hang out. I had like a once a week thing with each one. Like, and it wasn't nothing. I didn't feel
fulfilling.
it wasn't fulfilling enough for me to commit. And then somebody came along that made me want to stop dealing with them all.
Yo, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of people like to stick with one girl and say like that's the world. I really feel like men should like
Mingle.
go through
Have your own
mingle and
world.
go through their options.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I see some girls as they're processed food and some girls are like home cooked food.
Yo.
Yes.
If you hungry and you eat like a fucking Pop-Tart, you're gonna be hungry an hour later.
Right.
If you hungry
Shit,
and you eat some rice and beans and chicken,
You're going to be good.
you're gonna be good for a
No,
longer
sleep.
time. And that's the analogy of a girl being satiating, a girl you're growing with and learning things from her, and she's fulfilling. She brings substance to the relationship. So it's not fast.
Snickers
it's not
versus
slow.
oatmeal.
You get what I'm saying? Some girls is oatmeal. You get what I'm saying?
man?
And some girls is little pastry.
Apple
You
pie.
get-
Apple pie.
Your little
Little
apple pie.
Pop-Tart.
And you're like, I'm hungry. I'm about to go to this next bitch. You get what I'm saying?
No.
But if everything is all there, and I guess what we're saying is kind of vague at the same
I
time.
think you should I think not stretching, but having options, making yourself scarce, does something for you and it does something for the women that you're dealing with. I'm not saying go cheat. I'm not saying that. Please don't see this episode and be like, yo, this nigga Gino saying fuck mad bitches. Nah, I'm not saying that. Having options and talking to multiple
girls do it.
So I'm gonna say,
Girls are dating a bunch of different niggas.
what do you think it means when she says she's finding herself, bro? Like, come on.
So what I tell my friends is, and most of my friends are finding themselves.
Yeah, they find
and there's
themselves
nothing
on some
wrong with that
dick.
because I listen. No, I did it, and I actually had a mute button where I wasn't like even remotely like I could look at a dude and was like, oh, he's attractive, but no, thank you, because I was very focused on building myself, and I was just, my dad asked me one day like, would you date you? And at the time I was like,
That's balls. Dude.
and I had to kind of like was like, okay. I also told myself this. I made a list for myself, and I tell my friends this. But it's like, what kind of person am I in the relationship that's ideal for me? You get what I'm saying? What does that relationship look like? What are we talking about? What are we doing together? Like, not really focusing on, oh, I need him to be this tall and he has to have this much money. It wasn't surface. It was more of like, I said in one episode before about like, it's more about the relationship inside the box and not what the package looks like. So I had to like build a world of my own and become the person that is in this kind of relationship. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I want this of the guy that I'm asking for, then I'm gotta be this kind of person. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to kind of know not only what are you looking for in a relationship, but what does it feel like when you're not at your best? How do they talk to you? You get what I'm saying? When you guys have a disagreement, how does that go? How does that work out? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, what's the style of communication? Like, I think you kind of have to like almost, create an ideal version of your relationship,
like a mock relationship,
right? Of what it looks like, what you feel like when you see this person. You get what I'm saying? And I also think you have to have your own world to become totally enmeshed in the relationship and lose your own identity. I feel like it's very dangerous.
I don't think relationships are really linear like that, though. I feel like a lot of it is learning what flaws of a person you would like to accept and take on.
No, you
tolerate.
Put up with
that's what I'm saying. That you can tolerate. I don't think it's about like I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. I think it's like that needs help, but that's okay. That needs work, but that's okay. That needs work.
And you really gotta like. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you too, bro. One thing I used to do a lot when I was in the dating world. You have to really look at these flaws, like red flags, like look at them and shorty could be bad as hell. And you look at them and be like, but I could deal with that. Really? Can you though?
Right.
Like you gotta think like.
I know, cause she be turning around and her shit
someone
jiggling
shows
and
you
you're
who
like,
they are, believe them.
Yo, you gotta think like, you gotta think like in years aspect. How will this make you feel after doing it? And I know it's kind of hard to think in the future like that, but bro, like remember that girl? I dated this one girl that was just like she was cool as fuck when it came to just being cool. Like she was like one of the homies, but then she just like had a nasty. I don't like when girls talk to me a certain type of way. Like when we argue and she get the whole "fuck you suck my dick" type shit. Like I don't know, that shit don't. Like I be wondering, like I be confused. Like my nigga, what's happening? You talking like a nigga? Like I don't, you know what I mean? And just the thing, I know. That she thought it was cute to talk like that, and this is something it's a very simple comparison or example for what I'm talking about. But I knew I didn't want to hear that type of shit my entire life, or I didn't want to deal with that shit for years down the line. So
but that's what I'm saying. Like thinking about like what's ideal, and it's not making it up. It's not like super concrete. It's just like. In certain given situations, what am I willing to tolerate and what am I not?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? How do I connect with this person? And I think it's just it's like just knowing what you're looking for when you're talking to a person. So you know when a red flag comes, is like, and I also feel like you have to have non-negotiables.
Yeah.
There's certain things that when you're meeting someone, it's like, nah, I'm not doing that. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, this is a no for me. This is a hard no. Sweetie, I'm going to have to pass. But I think that's what dating is for. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? You're dating to see if this person is someone that you can eventually spend times with. And also when you're not spending time with, is this a person that, you know, you're going to miss when they're gone?
It's the 30-day trial. Make sure you remember to cancel your subscription before.
I feel like Jay-Z said, take your time when you liking a guy. If your feeling gets too intense, his pimp will die. Like you, I feel like you just gotta like I said, I think it's about context and pace. You get what I'm saying? Like I've talked to guys and they did not give a fuck about who I was, but they loved how I look. They could tolerate me. But I had to shut up and be quiet and just be pretty. You get what I'm saying? Like I was good for a look, but they did not know. Like when it came to it being over and I opened my mouth, they're like, I don't even know you. I'm like, duh. We never talked about shit. We just were hanging out. You get what I'm saying? Like there's some people that were like good on paper. Like if you're dating to check off boxes, like, oh, I could marry this nigga. But then there were certain moments where it's like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I also feel like if you like somebody and they check off all the boxes, but there's things that are non-negotiables or things that you don't like and you want something, let that person go.
Yeah.
Because letting that person go frees you up to find who you really looking for. And it gives them a chance to go do whatever the fuck they need to do to meet their own needs.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Because once you get to a certain age, bro, it's just like, it don't matter how old you are when it comes to dating. Like, you can be fucking 40, 50, 60, who cares? If you're dating, you're dating. But when you get older, it's just gotta look a little different. You gotta be a little bit more intentional. You gotta be fine-tuned. You gotta be fine-tuned in what you don't like, what you won't tolerate, and what you're willing to deal with. I'm just like touching on basically what she just said. It's just, I don't know. Me personally, like, I know that after all the chaotic relationships I had, like, healthy communication is like, don't yell at me.
Yo,
don't
if you
curse
can't,
at me.
I think that's like, people underestimate that.
It's so powerful.
So a lot of people, they're people where they don't speak their mind, and it's like, I was just talking about this the other day, right? There's two types of people, right? There's people that are attached to other people's opinions, and they get triggered and they get upset by what other people say. And that forces the other person to not say anything around you.
Right.
That forces other people to cheat sometimes. Cause it's like, this bitch is gonna blow up, or this nigga is gonna blow up. He might hit me.
Think about why you lie, because you're afraid of their response.
Oh man, I ain't gonna talk about my relationship.
But think about it.
You touching on something.
That's what I'm saying. If you can learn to detach yourself from other people's opinions and they say something that offends you and you're like, continue.
Yeah.
You know, and you can communicate and get to ground zero, that's always gonna knock down those barriers and walls that's gonna get you guys divorced.
What y'all just said is so powerful, because like, as y'all know, I was married in my years before. And when at a young age, we got married, like, I was fucking 18. I was stupid.
What?
But yeah, I was real stupid. But I was madly in love, like a fucking, like, nobody can tell me nothing. But like, there's certain things that just communication, like, we didn't have no training. We both came from fucked up homes at the time. You know, it's just like, we didn't have that training. So just like, being able to communicate could go so far. Like, Kendrick Lamar's album just came out. There's a song on there called When We Cry Together.
When We Cry Together. That's actually the next topic. So it's like, we can go there.
Okay.
We can go there.
Like, if you listen to the song, it's basically supposed to be him and his girl cursing each other out in a very toxic, heated argument. And I like identify with that shit so quickly, because it's like, bro, like, and in the end, I don't want to fuck, it's a song. At the end of the song, it's just like, they start saying like, it's supposed to be like, yo, fuck you. Right. And she's like, no, fuck me. Right. And basically, not to like overanalyze it, but it's so crazy how like, we hurt each other. Hurt people.
Absolutely.
And like, just one thing said the wrong way will trigger another person to just respond and try to give you back the same
dose. Exactly.
So at this point, you're not even trying to come to a solution.
Hey, you're just trying to hurt each other. That's why I was saying you gotta disconnect from what people say and be a nigga that can like hear you. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? That can just like, cause I know a bunch of people, it's like they get so easily triggered that they can't talk to people, and it's like,
and they can't hear you either.
And this is why people don't talk to you. You get what I'm saying? This is why.
That's why I said, essentially, like, those people who are so-called finding themselves, like, let them find themselves. Because I think a big part of doing what you're saying is knowing yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like, knowing your triggers, because what you guys are talking about a lot of times, like, I don't argue. Because I know a lot of times when I get into a situation and I'm triggered, sometimes it's a word that they said that hits a open wound from something that has nothing to do with this situation. Yeah. So they're going to get all of that energy that was meant for me to like deal with and process on my own. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's about communicating. Listen, I don't have the words right now. I'm hurting right now. And if I speak, I might hurt you. Yeah. So we need to we need some space so we can, get over how we feel. And if we want to have a conversation about it, let's have a conversation when we're both not in our feelings.
Yo, yeah, and that's powerful. You know what's crazy? I really I had this conversation recently, and I'm not going to tap into that part, but what I think also is like societal wise, and this is a kind of a stretch, not a stretch, but it's a little tangent. Look at how the country was divided when Trump was in office. Bro, there's so many people that were educated, intelligent people that had valid reasoning for voting for Trump, voting for the opposite. And I'm not saying, I know, I'm not sitting here saying I do think voting for Trump was bad and all that. That's not the point. The point of the matter is that, how many friends have we lost due to like politics? Just because we didn't have the tools or weren't aware of try to listen to each other. Listen to what this person is saying and what their reason is, instead of listening to find something to say back with the same amount of fire behind it. It's not, that's the problem. I feel like
consideration. And I think and awareness. And awareness of yourself, because I think when you know how you feel, what someone else feels doesn't have anything to do with how you feel. Yeah. It's just two difference of opinions. And then we can either agree or we can agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't take away from who either of us are. We just have two different standpoints on it. And I think a lot of people take offense when you don't agree with them. Yeah. And it's not personal.
I look at it like this. Like, I almost look for triggers. I kind of, in some sick way, I kind of like love triggers because it's a signal that I need to address, and it's like nice. I can tap into that and become a better person, and I can transmute it. Because if it don't apply, you really gonna let it fly. Yeah. If somebody be like, "Yo, shut up, Gino, you weak," and you're like, you just lift 400 pounds, you're gonna be like, all right, nigga. But if somebody says something that bothered you, and you're like, oh, but that's
not necessarily true. So it's true to an extent. If somebody says I'm weak, and I'm insecure,
with self-awareness,
yeah,
self-awareness is always going to come first. Without is the key. You can't get in the door without self-awareness. You get what I'm saying? So let me say that always gonna take if you know who you are, and somebody says some shit to you that don't apply, but sometimes you can know who you are, and somebody says some shit to you, and you like, oh, word, whoa, what was that?
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I can be triggered by certain shit. Like there's certain shit that I got to work on myself. So I'm glad that we're having this conversation because it's kind of therapeutic for me myself as well. I love keeping shit in the forefront. Like, boom, even if we talk about this 1,000 times, we talk about it next week. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad y'all said that because I gotta keep that right here. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like we all as people need to just be okay with just addressing that. Just like, certain things may trigger you. Censor yourself, bro. Like, you know. But
it's also good to, okay to say this hurt me, and right now I'm not in a place where I can deal with that. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's some triggers that just like knock you off your fucking feet, and you're just like, whoa. Like, there's some triggers, like I've been doing this work forever, and there's still some things like I did not know that was a thing. It's like every level of self-development I come on, there's a new thing, and I'm like, yo, I thought I was over this, and there's a whole nother level of it. I'm like, wow,
it's a lot.
I did not know this was a thing, and I'll just go sit like, what the fuck?
See, we're also talking about men and women too, and I grew up with 4 sisters and just my mom, right? And people say, yo, men and women do the same things as far as communication, and we really don't. We do not do the same. Majority of women that I know talk through you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
they don't want to hear shit when they're mad.
Yeah, when they're mad, they're talking. You're like, yeah, but I said, blah, 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 and they're finishing their point, and it's just like, is this a lecture or is this like a conversation? Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, when you can't, and I know it's harder for one side than it is for the other. You get what I'm saying? So, like, going back to Jarrod's like question and stuff, it's like, almost like a telltale, or like the secret key into the door is like noticing when somebody can communicate. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
if somebody's ruled by their emotions,
they're not going to be able to communicate.
Because we're talking about pace too, right?
Yeah.
Right.
If it's too fast or if it's too slow for the chick and she can't communicate that shit,
next.
We can't. We're not gonna be able to do anything.
But a lot of it's funny because like a lot of people will try to force situations because they like how someone looks, and like you said, like with feelings as well. Oh, he makes me feel. But as soon as he makes you feel angry, you can't handle that because it's just like it's when you're in your emotional mind, there's no logic or reason. It's just about how you feel, and a lot of times how you feel is fucking nonsense. Yeah, and it's not even like it's there's no reason or rhyme to it. It's literally just a feeling, and once that feeling subsides, once that feeling subsides, then you're like
stuck with nothing.
Wait.
Waste of time.
Yeah, it's just like what did I just do? But it felt good then, and you get hooked up on that feeling, and then
lacking substance,
and then it's empty. You get what I'm saying?
Sometimes men like I'm not going to speak for every man on the planet, but for me, like I used to love the chase. It's something about like the chase. I don't know. Maybe I was just a dog, bro. There's something about the chase, and once I felt like I got. Like I don't know. Like
once you got it was like okay.
I got the tension and the whatever. I got bored, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna head out. You know, it's just like it is, and I'm wrong for that, and I do apologize to those women if I have hurt anybody because of that. I didn't understand myself, and I needed to learn, but. Don't get trapped in that either, bro. Like sometimes the baddest chick is not really the one you want, bro. Like I very seldomly in my lifetime, like have I like the baddest joint, like I'm talking about like IG model type joint I don't know. It's really fucking broad of a generalization for me to say, and I apologize for that. But a lot of times, like you chase the best looking one, and it's just a very pretty casing. Like we talked
golden
about
apples.
Yo, but hey, if you a type of nigga that is got a little rotation, enjoy the rotation, enjoy the rotation. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's sometimes you have a nice little 3-girl rotation, and this one girl curse you out or some shit. Finally, she was getting on my nerves. That's fine.
That's a fact, bro. That's fine. Yo, that's a fucking fact. Like they will weed themselves out.
Yeah, and then the garbage will take itself out sometimes.
And you'll be able to deal with it so much better knowing that I got somebody else. Like,
but if you're looking for somebody to marry and settle down with, you get what I'm saying? No, you gotta know what you're really looking for. But if you just going around fucking around, enjoy the rotation. Have fun.
Be safe. Have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. It's funny because I was looking at like the actual demographics of single like millennials, and
scary.
It's terrifying.
Scary. I'm not gonna lie. You don't have a little bit of trouble in the future.
Yo, it's crazy because women outnumber men 600,000.
Wait.
Yeah.
There's 600,000
There's 600,000 more women than there are men. Ladies, y'all are in trouble. Wait. It gets crazier. What? So, more women are actually, and this is Black demographics. So actually more men are married than women.
Of course.
More men and more women. Listen, 52% of those men are actually married. Most women, the majority of women are high earners and have degrees and are single. So there's more women that's focusing on career and chasing the bag than they are in relationships. And it's weird because I was like reading this whole article about single millennials, and it's just so freaking weird. Like I didn't realize like this was with the passing of late Kevin Samuels, he talked about this a lot.
This is why he existed.
He talked about this a lot, and it's crazy because I looked it up myself just because of his question. I wanted to like have some solid basis on like what should this young man really do? Like how can he help himself? And unfortunately, and it's crazy because I was out the other night and I realized like most Black men were out with were out with women who are not black. I didn't see any like black couples.
Okay.
I saw more so men are getting married, but they're not getting married to black women.
It's crazy that you say, because
and the numbers say it.
So hold on. So this is why I gotta
go ahead.
I just had this debate. Literally the day, last week's show, Sunday, we spent it with my on Mother's Day with my family, and me and my sisters and my pops. We got into this big ass debate. My pops was like, F Kevin Samuels. And my sister's like, black men don't marry black women. And I disagree, because it's predominantly in the numbers, statistically, they said the majority of black men are married to black women. So how is it like, if the majority of black men are married to black women, how is that the case?
Because there's 600,000 more women
but that's just
than
the
men.
ratio, though.
This is what I'm saying. So men want to get married. It's just women are focused on something else than getting married. So it's not that black women aren't getting married, but there's so many of them choosing to be high earners. Like it says, there's more women in making 20 to 50K and they're single than men. There's 10,000 more women making 50 to 100K than men, and they're single.
I'm sure he's out there catching the bag, but
there's 10% more women who are making over 100K and they are single.
Want to go get a sugar mama, bro?
But it's sad though, because it's like at the end of the day, they're just gonna have their job. You know what I mean? It's like at the end of the day, like I know this stuff. There's sometimes I'll get girls that call me OD, right? And all they want is my attention. And I have to part of me is like, oh, just be a good friend. But I know how it goes. And I know what time it is. And she doesn't get that type of like attention from me as much as somebody that I'm intimate gets that attention from me. It kind of sounds fucked up like that, but it's like,
you got your boundaries.
I got my boundaries. You get what I'm saying? And like, do that with your boyfriend.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
But because she's working,
and that's the craziest thing about it, bro. Like 600,000 is not a small number. 600,000 is fucking a lot. That's why when I see,
but I said before, some women gonna get left behind.
I was gonna finish my point because I'm comparing it to the statistics. A lot of for women picking their career over men, and what I'm really trying to say is a lot of times women just want a guy that like fucking knows their favorite color, knows like if they go up and go to the bathroom, knows that they don't want pickles on their burger, or knows that they like the nuances that your father knew about you. You get what I'm saying? The nuances that your family members know about you. Somebody that knows you inside out and like
and chooses
can favor and chooses to and can like.
But doesn't that take some effort on their part as well? Though
it does. 100%. But I'm saying when you're choosing your career don't love you back like that.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Your career looks out for you financially because it's like practical, but it's like
but she going home to a cat.
I saw online.
That's me.
I saw online, right? This guy was talking about one of his family events, and he's saying that I think his grandma or his great grandma was there, right? And she made a whole bunch of kids. It was like 60 niggas there, right? And he just took a step back and he was like, there's a bunch of people at this family event, and they're all because of this one lady right here. 60 grown-ass men, grown-ass women, full of life. And they all, you know what I mean, pedestalize, which they should. This lady,
the matriarch,
that all these people came from this lady, and they don't care about her career. You get what I'm saying? They don't care about her job. They don't care about all this other stupid shit. It's who she was as a mother, a grandmother, a sister, whatever. I don't think when you look at these statistics and you look at a job, I look at it as are we as men letting black women down? You get what I'm saying? So where they want to choose their job, or they don't have a good example of black men, or is it that they're just being led into like the loneliness and living with cats? You get what I'm saying, for the rest of their life.
But there's a lot more women.
I don't think that we're letting. No, I do think we have some things that we need to fix. We're not
because
on both sides. On both sides.
I have a bunch of whatless friends.
We have enough with whatless friends. But let's keep it 100. I don't want to be the guy to play the race card, but we can't forget the reason why there's a lot of missing black men in families. You know what I mean? Like,
so isn't it up to us to rebuild?
Yeah, we got to repair, but we got to stop pointing fingers at each other and tearing each other down before we can do that. Right now, I feel like, bro, like, remember when Ludacris came out with his album Battle of the Sexes? And I remember when it came out, and I guess I was too young to understand what was going on. I'm like, yeah, he came out with an album called Battle of the Sexes. And I'm just like, why is that even a thing? I mean, that's an interesting
point of view. Right.
Bro, I don't know if that's why I say that, because I don't know if it was because I was too young to notice it. But now, bro, I feel like we're on teams, bro.
It's disgusting.
We're on teams. My niggas like team boy, team girl. It's just like,
it's weird.
And I got 2 little sisters, bro. And I have these conversations with them. And I feel like they think, They claim that I've only dated Spanish women in my entire life, when it's not true. I've had plenty of black girlfriends, but I feel like they look at me as like kind of like a sellout because I dated Spanish women, and I don't think they understand that. I care. Like, I want you to understand, like, the things that people are putting out in the air are not, the numbers are not a lie, for the simple fact that, like, yo, like, black men predominantly marry black women. It is a thing. It's not, we do care about black women, but at the same time, there's a lot of toxic shit out there as a man, on my point of view, that I see and I dislike. So I need to be more aware in what I speak around them, because I don't want them to think I'm like on some, like, I'm not aware of their obstacles in life and their plights. But at the same time, it's like, we just gotta, like, I don't know what the answer is. I really don't.
As a woman, I feel like it's almost like a cycle. Like, women encourage other women, and especially, like, I feel like you said, the lack of dads. Mm-hmm. Like, I see myself thinking a little differently, and my friends who actually have fathers, because I have friends who are married, but I noticed there's the most of the women who I know that are married, that are my age, have dads. Mm. Like, and I'm not talking about fucked up dads. I'm not talking about, like, in and out dads. I'm not talking about dads that they know that not. I'm talking about they grew up with dads that were head of their household, you know, kind of like semi-strict. You get what I'm saying? Like, they had an example of a good man, and they were able to choose a good man because of that example. I think that when you don't have great examples of what to choose, and you have moms who didn't have that example, or the moms who have their own pain, it becomes like a ripple effect of like unfortunately, like, the advice my mom has given me about men, I was just like, I ain't listening to you. I was like, you are disgusting. Like, it's just like, I could not, if I wanted a man to take me seriously, and I actually at some point wanted to get married, I couldn't think like that. Mm. Like, I couldn't think of men as just a baby maker or a money maker. Mm. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think, there's this value thing going on. Like, we see, like, we know, like, it's crazy because that Willie Lynch bullshit did its fucking thing. Bro. It did its fucking thing, because it's crazy because we're sitting here fighting with each other, right? And it's weird too, because black women say they want to get married and have families and have children. Black men are actually getting married, having families, having children. So what the fuck is really the problem? Why? What are we really arguing about? You get what I'm saying? It's just like,
and
it's weird because somebody was like, oh, well, what's the answer? And I'm like, yo, everybody just needs to fucking go take care of themselves and then find their match.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But no people aren't going to stop fucking. They aren't going to stop dating. Everybody wants a 6'2" light-skinned boy.
Yeah.
There's not that many of them. And like, good luck with that. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all all, if there's 600,000 more of us than there are of them, good luck with that. And it just kind of seems like there's this weird.
There's this thing where it's like, I'm entitled to what I want.
Yes.
And
the
wants preserve the needs.
And I learned that women want what they want, and you can't tell them anything else. You get what I'm saying?
You're a misogynist if you do.
Yeah.
You're a piece of shit if you do.
You can't. They like what they want, and they're gonna get what they want, and they're not gonna settle, and don't try to make them.
They will settle
until they get it, and they're a single mom.
Job.
They say statistically, I'm not sure if it's true, but people preach like it's a statistic. They say women all fuck the top 20% of men. They all share the top 20% of men.
I've seen
so
that
there's more women, right? But they're only picking a small percentage of men anyway. You get what I'm saying?
Your odds are even worse.
Like this, it's just fucking ridiculous. I don't
thing,
get it. I really don't get it.
I don't understand. Like I was watching that one video where the girl was like, if you make 100K, it's not enough. Like, what are you supposed to do? 100K? Like, what? And what realm are we where 100K is not considered like doing good in life? You know what I mean? Living.
But it's just like, to be honest, it's just like, what the fuck do you want? What do you need? What are you gonna do with that 100K? And do you fucking deserve it? Just because you have titties and a vagina does not mean you deserve 100K, sweetheart. Just because you got a pretty face does not mean you deserve 100K. Because half of y'all nobody wants to come home to you. You're just a body to a nigga. Like, there's 600, I'm gonna keep saying this, there's 600,000 more of you. What is your leverage? Is tits and vagina and your pretty face your only leverage?
And listen, she's not talking to the women that are like, level-headed, good head on their shoulder, doing their thing, taking care of
No, they're gonna win regardless.
Y'all gonna win.
They're gonna win regardless.
There's a lot more.
That's what people don't understand. Those girls are the girls that men marry.
Yep.
They're gonna win regardless.
At the end of the day,
fight every day, all day.
They're marrying that 52%.
Honestly, too, like, I don't know.
A couple simps that'll take it.
In my opinion, right?
Yeah.
If you bring home a girl that looks like a stripper, right? Big old fake ass, big old titties, bow top lips, and you bring her home to Thanksgiving dinner, sit her next to your mom. What's your mom gonna say?
My mom will look at me like I'm crazy, bro.
What is?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Fuck out of here.
We're picking the girl next door.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm trying to bring her home to mom.
That's what I'm saying. It's not all of this Miami culture that's perpetuated online.
That shit I'm gonna bring around the homies.
Yeah, I think this baddie culture got bitches fucked up.
Way fucked up.
I think it got them messed up. I think that I get feeling like you want it to be free, and I get wanting a certain lifestyle. That's cool. You get what I'm saying? But that it's like,
but just know what comes with it.
This is what I'm saying. Like, there's a consequence, and there's also like, this is what you get from living the way you're living. And don't expect someone to lower their bar to get with you after you behaved a certain way. And I do feel like, every girl kind of has like a moment where they kind of lose their way. You get what I'm saying? Whether you have a father or not, it's like, you can't tell me what to do, daddy. I'm going to do what I want. Every girl has that. But it's like, if you really want children and you want a family, you want a marriage, when do you come back from that? Do you keep doing that into your 30s, into 40s and say, I just want to be free, somebody's gonna accept me I am? No, they're not. Nobody has to put up with your shit.
Nobody has to.
It doesn't matter. And like we said before, they will have sex with you. They will tell you what you want to know, what you want to hear. There will be men who will spend on you, and there's a price to pay. Like, I seen a whole article about this girl who went to Dubai. She was a pretty girl. And her friend was like, oh yeah, girl, you should go to Dubai. I'm gonna give you my ticket. You go to Dubai. And she was pretty. You get what I'm saying? Like, And she just was like, she's tired of working. And she was like, all right, I need a vacation. She goes to Dubai. Her friend's like, oh yeah, you're pretty. There's going to be a guy. He's going to come up and he's going to give you everything you want. Yo, there's a price to pay. Shorty went to Dubai. Guy was like, yo, I'll give you $50,000 and the day of your dreams, you buy whatever you want. Go ahead. We're going to go on a date later on tonight. So she's like, oh, I get the day of my dreams, went and spent everything. Plus she got $50,000 in her bank account. She got violated by 4 men and there was nothing she can do about it. And all that money in her bank account, literally now it's like, for what? Because now she's home. She's depressed.
Traumatized.
She's traumatized. She's been abused. She doesn't even know if she can have kids again. And I've seen a lot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you don't. I'll send you the article. It's disgusting what they did to this poor girl.
I heard about
But what I'm saying
too.
is there's a lot of girls who are paying the price for being pretty.
Yo,
you get what I'm saying?
I was watching Agent's podcast and he was talking about this. He's damn, I don't want to get his race mixed up, but I think he's Somalian or something like that. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but he was talking about like things that happen I don't know exactly, but he said sometimes you go to Dubai or something and women will get like they'll pay you like $50K.
But you know what they gotta pay for that?
Yeah, and they'll do some shit to them.
Listen, it's just crazy because all these girls saying they want 100K, and all this I want a hypergamy relationship, and I want a high value man. A lot of these men, like, did y'all not see the movie Addicted? Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of these men, just because he has a lot of money and he dresses nice and he appears nice, doesn't mean he's good for you. I think there's a price to pay when you use your surface. When you use your feminine assets, not your femininity, but your feminine assets to get these kind of things in life, there's a price to pay. You get what I'm saying? Like, nothing's for free. Yeah. Nothing's for free. Everything you're getting, there's something attached to that, and it's going to hit you when you least expect it.
Right. Nothing in this world is free. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, to add on to what Gina was saying before, like, we need to be on each other's side at the end of the day. Yeah. This is not no men versus women, and this is really only a problem. It irks me because it's only a problem in Black community. You know,
I don't think that's the truth.
I really do, because I don't see my white friends dealing with it.
Oh, as far as the conflict between us. Yes, but as far as the numbers, like as far as women looking for men, I think every coach is dealing with that based off the numbers. I just think that we're the only culture that's trying to point the finger at each other.
That's what I mean.
Okay, so that's what you. Okay,
that's what I mean.
In that case, yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm really.
We're the only race. We're the only culture at war with each other, and we want each other. It's so weird.
And that's why that song by Kendrick Lamar is so fucking powerful. They were saying all that shit just to hurt each other, but at the end of the day, what they were really trying to say is, "I just want you."
Yeah.
Right. With that said, y'all, that's another episode of the IC. If you like what you heard, please make sure you check out the rest of the videos on the IC. We don't have youtube.com/the IC yet, but you can type it in the search bar and it'll come up. We got a bunch of videos right now. We just uploaded the last one called Celebrity Evolution, episode 7. Mm-hmm. This is obviously episode 8.
Oh shit, I put 7 up in the beginning.
But yeah, we working. We about to have everything. You see the screen right here? Next show we're gonna get into some reaction videos or what have you. We're gonna have a good time. Stay tuned. It will be episode 9.
Yeah.
9.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even know, because we got one in the bullet actually.
No, I'm about to say this is actually episode 10.
This is actually episode 9, and the next one will be episode 10. We got something in the clip for you.
Yeah, one in the clip.
Yep.
Right, we got one in the clip for you. Yo, we'll be back. That was another episode of the IC. Thanks for tuning in. Yo, Jarrod, thanks for the comment.
Much love, Jarrod.
Yeah, thanks for sending us. If anybody else got any questions,
I hope we helped.
Yeah, exactly. If anybody else got any questions, we'll turn it into a timestamp on the episode.
Also, hey, hit me up on Old Head Steph. That's my YouTube channel. If y'all went into the game and we was talking about the pressing the buttons. I've been playing Blood Hunt a lot lately. I've been giving little tips and stuff. I'm also doing funny content now. I'm getting into skits. Yeah, I'm having fun and working hard. So I appreciate you for your support. You know what I mean? Much love.
Thanks for the support, y'all. We out.